Welcome to the Third Win channel. Today we're doing seasons ranked of Drake and Josh. And this comes after we've done season episode tier lists for each of the seasons, all 4 seasons. So I checked these videos out first because the seasons ranked series is a bit of a closing step for this episode tier list series that I have. So I talk about the seasons in a more broad sense. So I've done the whole series for iCarly and Zoe 101, so you can check those out if you're interested. But today we're talking about Drake and Josh. So let's get into the ranking. Drake and Josh has 4 seasons, and I'll just go over briefly each season real quick before I deep dive into them. So season 1 is a season of introductions. We only have 6 episodes. It feels like more of a test run and them kind of figuring out what they're going to do. The brothers still don't have a established dynamic, but they're definitely not super close yet. And yeah, season 2 is a season of acceptance. The brothers learn to accept each other. They have they have more conflict with each other maybe than usual. Whereas, for example, season 3, what I like to consider the season of growth, is where the brothers have learned to accept each other, but grow through different challenges they face together. They can still get into conflict, but they're more growing and learning from their mistakes. You see Drake change in personality, becoming a more pleasant person. Season 4 is where I think the brothers have kind of learned about each other, what they've grown, they've accepted each other, with a few exceptions, of course, but this is where they kind of go on a wild ride. They have so many different experiences, and mostly they're doing things together. But let's get into deep diving into the season, starting with season 1, which only has 6 episodes, and I can kind of talk about every episode here really briefly. Pilot is a great way to start off the show. We have Drake and Josh's parents marrying each other, and they have to learn to live with each other at all, even though they don't like each other. Then we have DUNE BUGGY, which is a fun episode where we get to learn more about Drake and Josh and their personalities. I think it's a great way to do it. And then we have Believe Me Brother, where Drake just doesn't believe Josh, even though Josh is right. We have Two Idiots and a Baby, where they have to learn to work together on this task, but Drake has his own ideas and Josh is left with most of the work. We have First Crush, where Josh is going through feelings and he kind of consults Drake. And then we have Grammy, which is a great episode about looking past prejudice or first expectations. I don't know, I think it's a great way to kick off the show, but I miss, I guess, some kind of I don't know. I don't think the writing is quite there. I don't think it's as funny as the other seasons for the most part. And because it's just 6 episodes, it's hard to evaluate it together with the other seasons. But I think that out of the 6 episodes, I think I really enjoy 3 of them. And the other 3, especially like Two Idiots and a Baby, I just look past very easily. First Crush isn't great either. So let's move on to season 2, which I think is a super solid season. And I like how we go from going from episode 1 all the way to 14. I almost feel like you see that acceptance slowly start to build up. Although, like, at the end of season 1, you do have some kind of acceptance, but by the end of season 14, they've learned to work as a team, and they are fully brothers on our council. I love that episode because it's the brothers against everyone else, because no one believes Drake except for Josh. So I love that moment, and many moments in this season just speak out to me really loud, like Number One Fan, Blues Brothers, Football, The Bets. All these episodes just see the brother dynamic really work out well, because they're not fully, I guess, friends. They are, but they're not, and I think that dynamic makes it really funny, because Drake can do really unpredictable things, and you can see Josh's reaction, the classic Josh face, like not disappointment, but almost like a mixture between disappointment and anger and sadness. I love that. And there's just, I don't know, I feel like there aren't even bad episodes in this season that I'd skip at all. Yeah, it's really good. Let's move on to season 3, which has I think, if I'd have to choose like top 5 episodes, Drake and Josh, which maybe is a video I could do in the future, I think that this season has at least 2 or 3. I think my favorite episode of Drake and Josh ever is the Demonator. I just cry out laughing at that episode. I love Alien Invasion as well. Theater Thug is hilarious. What else? I think Peruvian Puff Pepper is also a very good episode about the sibling rivalry. I don't know. I just think this season has just so many really funny, good moments. But this season also comes with its downsides. There's a lot of moments here, a lot of episodes that aren't as quality. Everything in between, like the banter and the jokes in between, are really good, but the premises start to fall apart a little bit. And something I didn't mention about season 2 that I really like is that there isn't anything super outlandish in the season. Everything is kept quite normal for two teenage boys, and I like that it's reserved in the craziness, and the craziness is just between the dynamics of the brothers. Whereas in season 3 and season 4, you start getting into these situations where things are crazy. They're jumping out of a helicopter, or there's aliens involved, or I'll get into it, but it's just they rely on more effect and plot points to make the show better. I don't know. Does that make sense? I don't know. But this season, yeah, like episodes like Sheep Thrills and I guess Megan's New Teacher, and I know a lot of people like Helen Surgery, but I'm not a super big fan. Playing the Field, there's just a lot of things that I'd consider maybe more filler and not the best episodes, Whereas going back to season 2, I see there's a lot of consistency here, even though we have less episodes. And lastly, we have season 4, a season which I've titled Wild Experiences, because I really do feel like there's so many wild experiences. I think almost every single episode. The first episode, Josh runs over Oprah. The second episode about a vicious dog, so they have to maneuver their way out. The wedding is about them getting just robbed and their car breaking down and on fire on this motorway. There are some plot episodes, of course, but you can just see jumping out of a helicopter, a dance contest, Drake getting a big time in music, Eric punching Drake, just all these wild experiences. Megan's first kiss, my dinner with Bobo, which is literally about an orangutan eater, like a human. It's a lot of crazy stuff that happens, but I like that we see the brothers working together here for the most part. They get in trouble mostly together, or they get involved together. And I like that a lot. And I also like about this season where I feel like they get some of the smaller characters more involved. I think the more the show went on, the more they involved Eric and Craig, or Helen, or Megan even, and the parents. So I like that aspect about it a lot, especially like episode like The Storm, where they bring back old girlfriends and whatnot. So yeah, a great season packed full of stuff, but again, it has the same problems as season 3. It just lacks a bit of consistency across the board. Like the last 2 episodes, for example, or I love Sushi, so. Just doesn't have that same consistency that the smaller season of season 2 had. And let's talk about how I actually rank these seasons. I've talked long enough about them. You guys have your own opinions, so I just wanted to give my thoughts on them, but this is how I'd personally rank the seasons. So first up, we have season 1 at number 4. So here I'm just putting the image of my episode tier list, so you can kind of check them out if you want. I'm just it's a placeholder, okay? Season 1 is the 4th here, and what can I say about season 1? It's hard to compare it with the rest. I can't really say like, oh, I already said like 3 of the 6 episodes are good. Maybe it's like as units 6 episodes. I don't know. Percent wise, maybe it works out that this is a better season. I don't know, but it just doesn't feel the same. It doesn't have that same nostalgia element for me. I don't think many people were actually super invested in Drake and Josh when season 1 rolled around. And from what I've seen in the comments, people do enjoy the later scenes better. So yeah, number 4. Maybe because it has 6 episodes, but I don't think it's the best season either. Next, at number 3, we have season 4. So between season 4, 3, and 2, it's really difficult, because especially since we do mostly sitcoms on this, or like teen sitcoms on this channel, it's sometimes hard with sitcoms because they don't differentiate enough between the seasons. But Drake and Josh is an example of this, because I think that writing is actually very consistent through season 2 to 4. I think it's always funny, always great. It's like top 5 favorite shows for me. I love Drake and Josh. So it's really hard to differentiate between the seasons. But the reason I think I have season 4 a little lower is it just has fewer memorable or really special episodes to me, I guess. And there's a lot of crazy stuff that happens, which it just feels like almost this kind of Walking Dead effect where they have to amp it up, add more characters, go up and up and up, whereas the magic of the show really lies in the brothers. So that's why season 4, I think, through kind of smarts, I kind of decided to put it at number 3, because I think that they amped it up on the special effects, but forgot about what made this show special. Not that it's a bad season, I think I'd still rate it super highly. But next, and even more difficult, I put season 3 at number 2. Even though it has probably my favorite episodes of the show, I think that it's kind of like in between season 2 and 4, which is obviously why it's here, but it's just missing a little bit of that consistency that season 2 had. And it amped it up just enough, better than season 4, but it kind of lacked execution on some of the episodes for me. That being said, I love the Demonator, I love Alien Invasion, just amazing episodes. I never get tired of them. I think season 3, I could say, in that way, I could say it's my favorite season because it has my favorite episodes, but on a consistency standpoint, I do think that season 2 edges out season 3. I think that this is where people get hooked on the show. I think that this is where you really learn about the brothers and what they are like. If you hopped into the show at season 3 or 4, I don't think that you had the same experience. So, yeah, season 2 is my favorite. Like I said, it's consistent. It has 14 really good episodes, and you can't really go wrong. There's so many heart-filled moments as well with Number One Fan. I think that's one of the best episodes of Drake and Josh ever as well. I love seeing Drake change, even though you also see that in season 3. Season 2 also offers that, and yeah, it's just a special season, I think. So that is my ranking. I got season 2 number 1, season 3 number 2, season 4 number 3, and season 1 number 4. Did I get that right? Gold medal goes to season 2. That's what matters here. This is the first time. Actually, I'm not going to spoil the other season ranked videos. I did that in the last one. I'm not doing it again. But yeah, that's kind of like the Drake and Josh chapter closed off. It might seem that I'm being overcritical, but I'm trying to make the videos more interesting instead of putting everything in S tier. I think Drake and Josh is a fantastic show. I think it's the funniest show, pretty much. So yeah, I think I could say that. I think this is the funniest show I've ever watched. I love this show. It's dear to my heart. It's changed me as a person, and I'm not trying to be critical here. I'm just trying to make it more interesting by kind of being critical towards the episodes. So I do love the whole show. I love all 4 seasons. And yeah, I hope you guys have enjoyed this Drake and Josh ride. And now your job is to tell me what you want to see next. Which episode tier list for a season you want to see, a series you want to see next. You want to see Victorious? I feel like that's a maybe natural progression, or I can do a lot of different things. You can kind of scroll through the channel and see what else I've done. I could do Walking Dead or The 100, or eventually we'll probably get to the revival of the iCarly series, but there's a lot of stuff I can get into Disney Channel. I have to rewatch a bunch of that stuff, but you know, the possibilities are endless. But it's kind of on your shoulders now. You have to tell me what you want to see next, or else I'm just going to choose for you. So thank you for watching, everyone, and I've rambled a lot in this video. I apologize for that, but this has been the Third Win channel. I appreciate you all. We've built a little community here, which I'm really proud of, and I mean, subscribe if you'd like, but I'm really happy now with the amount of subscribers and the little community we have here. But of course, it'd be nice to grow. I'd like to hit the 1,000 mark at some point so we can get a community tab. I think that'd be really fun, because then we can do polls and talk there without it being in this video format where it's really me talking to you. So yeah, that's my little speech. But yeah, I'll see you guys very soon with more content. A lot of it I think I can do daily. So yes, goodbye guys.